is also an indicator of how much you love WWE. I'm in my locker room one day, kicking it with Kevin, laying
In the
back.
unpredictable world of WWE, few moments can electrify the audience like a surprise attack that alters the course of multiple superstars' careers. The atmosphere heading into WrestleMania 41 was already charged, with rivalries boiling over and tensions reaching a fever pitch. Then, in one shocking moment on Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins decisively took down both Roman Reigns and CM Punk, creating a ripple effect that would shape the narrative heading into WWE's biggest event of the year. The build-up to the showdown. For months leading up to this monumental episode of Raw, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk were at the center of an intense and evolving drama. Each superstar carved their path in WWE, but all found themselves at a crossroads as WrestleMania loomed large. The stakes were higher than ever, and all three men were ready to prove their supremacy in their own unique ways. Seth Rollins, the architect, strikes back. Seth Rollins, the architect, has long been known for his ability to reinvent himself. From his early days as a member of The Shield to his rise as a solo performer, Rollins has continually evolved, keeping himself fresh and engaging to the WWE universe. However, in recent months, the spotlight has shifted away from him. With Roman Reigns and CM Punk dominating the headlines, Rollins began to feel like an afterthought. Frustration simmered beneath the surface, building a fire inside him that threatened to erupt. As the roster seemed to revolve around the tribal chief and the returning Punk, Rollins was determined to reclaim his rightful place at the top. Roman Reigns, the unstoppable tribal chief. Roman Reigns, the reigning Universal Champion, has dominated WWE with an iron fist. His reign as the tribal chief has been built on a foundation of strength, cunning, and unparalleled authority. But even the mightiest of rulers are vulnerable. Reigns has dealt with pressure not only from outside challengers, but also from within his own family, as the dynamics of the bloodline began to fracture. With WrestleMania 41 on the horizon, Reigns' legacy was on the line. Defending his title was no longer just about championships. It was about solidifying his place in history as one of the greatest champions WWE has ever seen. CM Punk, the voice of the voiceless, returns. CM Punk's return to WWE sent shockwaves throughout the wrestling world. Known for his sharp tongue, fierce independence, and unwavering dedication to the sport, Punk re-entered the ring with a clear purpose: to remind the WWE Universe of what they had been missing. His rivalry with Reigns had reignited old tensions, and, in many ways, Punk represented a voice for the passionate fan base that had been critical of Reigns' reign of dominance. However, Punk's presence was a double-edged sword. While he clashed with Reigns, he also drew the ire of Seth Rollins, setting the stage for a dramatic confrontation between the three men. The moment of chaos. Seth Rollins strikes. Monday Night Raw became the setting for the unforgettable moment that changed everything. The episode, which was supposed to be a showcase of WrestleMania matchups, instead became a battleground for supremacy. As tensions between Rollins, Reigns, and Punk reached a boiling point, Rollins seized the moment and let loose. The segment began innocuously enough, with Rollins addressing the crowd, airing his grievances about being overlooked. As Rollins' frustrations built, the atmosphere in the arena shifted from anticipation to something more intense: hostility. Words were exchanged, and the palpable tension simmered before finally boiling over. Seth Rollins, the master of manipulation and mind games, was no longer content to stay in the shadows. His moment had arrived. The unleashing of the architect Rollins, typically calculated and measured in his approach, unleashed his pent-up aggression on both Reigns and Punk in a manner that shocked the WWE Universe. It was no longer just about words. It was about action. Rollins moved with precision and ferocity, delivering a series of brutal curb stomps to both Reigns and Punk. The first curb stomp, aimed at Roman Reigns, was an iconic move that sent shockwaves through the arena. Rollins' intensity was on full display as he slammed Reigns' head into the canvas. The impact of the move was jarring, and for a moment, it seemed like time stood still. The crowd, stunned by the violence of the moment, watched as Reigns writhed in pain, a symbol of the once unbreakable tribal chief now left vulnerable on the mat. Rollins had sent a clear message. He wasn't just here to compete. He was here to dominate. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, a battle for recognition. After dismantling Reigns, Rollins turned his attention to CM Punk. The second curb stomp was equally devastating, sending Punk crashing to the mat with a sickening thud. The WWE Universe was in disbelief. This wasn't just an attack. It was a declaration. Rollins wasn't about to let Punk's return overshadow him. He had made it clear that he would not be ignored. As the dust settled and Rollins stood tall in the ring, the chaos of the moment reverberated throughout the WWE Universe. Fans erupted in a mix of cheers and disbelief, fully aware that Rollins had just altered the landscape of WrestleMania 41. In one night, he had taken down two of the biggest names in WWE, positioning himself as a serious threat to both men and, potentially, to the Universal Championship. The fallout, the impact on Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins. The architect reclaimed for Seth Rollins. This moment marked a critical turning point in his career. His actions on Raw were a statement to both Roman Reigns and CM Punk, but also to the entire WWE roster. By taking down two of the biggest superstars in the company, Rollins had reminded everyone that he was a force to be reckoned with. The intensity of his assault on Reigns and Punk was not just about physical dominance. It was about reclaiming his spot at the top of the card. With WrestleMania 41 just days away, Rollins now finds himself in a prime position to challenge for the Universal Championship. His actions have not only made him a target, but they have also solidified his place as one of WWE's top-tier performers. Rollins' evolution has always been defined by his adaptability. And now, with his career once again on the rise, he has the chance to build a new legacy. One that could be forged at the grandest stage of them all. Roman Reigns, the challenge to his reign. For Roman Reigns, the attack from Rollins was a stark reminder that his reign as Universal Champion is no longer unchallenged. Reigns has spent the last few years positioning himself as the dominant force in WWE, but Rollins' actions have cast doubt on his ability to hold on to his title. The question now isn't just about defending his championship, it's about defending his legacy. The rivalry with Rollins has added a new layer of complexity to Reigns' character. The tribal chief must now contend with the reality that his dominance is being questioned, not just by the WWE Universe, but by fellow superstars. The way Reigns responds to Rollins' attack will determine how he is remembered, and how he handles the mounting pressure will shape the narrative heading into WrestleMania 41. CM Punk, a return on the line. For CM Punk, the attack from Rollins was both a setback and a challenge. Punk, who returned to WWE to reclaim his spot at the top, now finds himself in an unfamiliar position. His rivalry with Roman Reigns had been heating up, but Rollins' sudden interference complicates things. Punk's resilience and ability to bounce back from adversity have always been defining characteristics, but this new dynamic creates a question mark surrounding his place in the WrestleMania picture. How Punk responds to Rollins' actions will be crucial. Will he join forces with Reigns to take down the architect, or will he pursue his own path toward reclaiming his legacy? As the weeks lead into WrestleMania, Punk's ability to navigate this new rivalry will shape his story moving forward. The larger narrative, legacy, rivalry, and the road to WrestleMania. The actions of Seth Rollins on Raw have deepened the existing rivalries and reshaped the narrative heading into WrestleMania 41. These rivalries are no longer about just titles. They are about legacy. Seth Rollins, a man built on evolution and adaptability, now stands poised to solidify his place in WWE history. Roman Reigns, the once unshakable tribal chief, faces a challenge unlike any he's encountered before. CM Punk, a symbol of the voiceless, must now navigate a web of complexities as his return to WWE becomes more about redemption than domination. The questions lingering in the air following Rollins' attack are more than just about who will win at WrestleMania. They are about who will define the future of WWE. The shifting dynamics between Rollins, Reigns, and Punk are what makes this storyline so compelling. Will they continue their individual paths, or will they unite in an attempt to take down Rollins? What role will loyalty, legacy, and personal pride play in shaping these characters?